Behind the mighty Himalayas, amidst the high mountains, in the beautiful valleys and on the vast plateaus is the wonderful abode of a thriving ecosystem, the cold desert of Ladakh. This colossal landscape, posing tranquilly to the boundless sky, is a heaven to abounding number of migratory species, which have coexisted with the people of Ladakh since time immemorial. The sustainable and eco-friendly indigenous practices have made it possible for the locals to successfully thrive and flourish into a model of self-reliant civilization, thereby setting an example of abundance for all species in the landscape, which is otherwise known for scarcity of resources. With changing time, the pressure on natural resources has increased due to growing pastoralism and tourism, which affects the very foundation of sustainability on which this ecologically fragile landscape of Ladakh is based on. Keeping people as the heart of conservation, the Wildlife Department has taken various initiatives to rebuild the model of sustainable coexistence that once prevailed in Ladakh. The traditional coral pens used to house livestock constructed generally with an open roof, hence facing acute pressure with respect to livestock depredation by carnivores, thereby severely impacting the source of livelihood of the locals. There have been cases where a single snow leopard has killed an entire herd of sheep and goats by entering into such corrals, but only feeding on one or two. A simple solution has acted wonders, wherein the Wildlife Department has built predator-proof coral pens across the landscape, which has helped in mitigating the conflict to a great extent. Rumbak, the heart of Hemis National Park, also known as the snow leopard capital of the world, is an exemplary model of community-based conservation, where conservation and economy run hand in hand, complementing each other. The locally run homestay of Rumbak village attracts tourists from all over the globe in pursuit of sighting the elusive snow leopard. This brings in direct economic benefits to locals, who in turn conserve the species, thereby upholding the very essence of community-based conservation. Being the best landscape for snow leopard spotting around the world, Ladakh is also famed for its winter ecotourism, bringing high-value, low-impact tourists to showcase the natural wonders of Ladakh, its unique landscape and its biodiversity. The winter trek in the wild stretch of rugged mountains and the valleys is also an interesting and adventurous ecotourism activity that attracts many mountaineers and travelers.
Ecotourism here has been really special. It's not like that in other places, and I think that you'll really start to see the benefits of this in the very short future too, especially because the climate is changing very rapidly. And even talking to the locals, they've said that it's changed in their lifetime. So it's important to get ahead of that and to kind of preserve it as soon as possible. So I think ecotourism is really bringing about a really good benefit to this region.
पहले से तो ज़्यादा सुरक्षित है। अभी हम गांव वाले ने बचा के रखा था ना, सोनो लिपाट, वुल्फ, वो सबको। फिर वहाँ से फॉरेनर्स आता है ना देखने के लिए। फिर वर्ल्ड लिफ ने भी हमें मदद किया। फिर इधर टूरिज़्म बहुत आता है सोनो लिपाट देखने के लिए, वुल्फ देखने के लिए। फिर वहाँ हमें बहुत अच्छा होता है। फिर उससे भी हमें पैसा मिलता है, कैंपिंग में बैठ के, कभी कभी होम स्टे में आता है। हम लोग सोनो लिपाट बनाता है, याक बनाता है, फिर ब्लू शिप बनाता है जी। वो सब बना के उधर नीचे एक टी टेंट होता है जी, उधर हम लोग लेके जाता है जी। सभी घर 9 घर है ना इस रुम्बक में, सभी घर से 5-5 उधर लेके जाएगा जी। फिर उधर से टेकिंग रूट से वहाँ अंग्रेज जाता है ना, फिर उन लोगों को सेल करता है जी।
As the ecotourism model flourished, people of Ladakh started indulging themselves in alternate ways of livelihood, like the tour guides, connecting them more to nature and wildlife. The Wildlife Department also encourages these tour guides by permitting them to take around eco-friendly tours for snow leopard sightings. Involving the locals in such activities not only helps them in improving their livelihood, but also helps in conserving the wildlife and its habitat. The Wildlife Department also encourages locals to participate in their fieldworks and surveys so that there is knowledge and experience sharing between the two for better monitoring and management of the wildlife. Such participatory approach to conservation is the stepping stone towards a better future, a future that is not only economically viable but also environmentally sustainable. The synergized efforts of the department, along with the community, has paved a strong way for the present and the future generations to come, upholding the traditional Ladakhi model of peaceful coexistence and its inclusive growth. Jule